He's
he
going to
gets
be awesome.
the best monologues in this.
Yeah,
way better
he
than
really
anybody
does.
else. His conversation that he has about what was it? He was talking about death and life, and one of his little monologues was just so smart, and I found him to be I thought him to be the most charismatic villain of the group.
Are you talking about that last little bit when he's in the car
Yes.
before he's killed? Yeah, so that's an excerpt from Paradise Lost, and
Yes.
that is when the cherubs go to visit Satan, and Satan has changed so much in the time that he has been in hell that they don't recognize him at first, having been a fallen angel. And that was Satan's reaction to the cherubs, of seeing them, of how awful goodness is. It's so great. Holy cow, Gretchen, welcome back.
Back in the library.
Hey, if I can just say so, which I can always edit this out, you look really amazing for this episode.
Thank you. I mean, why not? I figured dress for the occasion.
You look like a Gothic cathedral.
That's what I'm trying to go for.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should take some pictures in front of the cathedral wall.
Oh, we should.
For the listeners.
Actually, that's a really good point. So we're recording again in a new place because we're still a little bit homeless.
Yeah.
And this place is the rental title of it is the Tabor Space, but it's actually a church that has rental spaces in it. We're in the library, but there is a big sanctuary.
It has a giant organ.
Yes.
Like that in the background.
It's a giant organ with big stained glass windows.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I feel like this is probably like a Unitarian type denomination. They seem to be.
Don't ask me. I don't know that stuff.
They seem to be very open.
Yeah.
And welcome to all.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, everybody. It's the Check the Gate podcast where Gretchen and I watch a movie together and then we get together and discuss it. We never know where it's going to land. And this episode
is your pick.
Oh, man.
I
was so excited for this one because this episode's going to land around Halloween time or on Halloween.
Or on Devil's Night, you mean?
Devil's Night, my new favorite holiday.
Yeah.
As T-Bird would say. Well, so we watched the 1994 Alex Proyas absolutely amazing, awesome film, The Crow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have not watched this film in at least a decade.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's what, 21 years old?
It is
31?
It is 31 years old. Yeah. Yeah. And
I don't love that.
This is a film that's on a regular rotation for me. Like if I go 2 years without watching this film, that's a long stretch.
It's definitely been about 10, 15 years, really, at this point. Yeah, for me.
I adore this film. And I didn't say anything to you ahead of time in the episode. I do want to say that one of the things that I am not going to address in here is everything that surrounds the passing away of Brandon Lee. I'm going to acknowledge that it happened like it did, and we can discuss all of that, but there's just a lot that goes into when it happened, how it happened, the effects of the other actors, those kind of things. There's tons of conspiracy theory and
there's
weird
conspiracy theories? I thought it was black and white.
No,
it's an accident.
It was an accident. There's all sorts of weird things that have happened to it. And, if you go onto IMDb, you can read about it, and it was a very unfortunate accident that had actually caused the industry to really readjust how it did a lot of things. And we didn't see another accident until about 2023, where there was an accident on a film set on a film called Rust. So, it made a lot of people reassess how they did things. But I just didn't want to get into that as an overall topic. I wanted to be able to say that, talk about the film, but acknowledge that it's a thing. And
what we should acknowledge, if we're going to, we might as well just start it off with acknowledging it.
Sure.
Brandon Lee was set to be a big, huge star with this film. And it's a damn tragedy. And it was a terrible loss to the industry and to his mother.
Yeah, and some people didn't actually. So reading the
I watched a
history on this and
documentary
going
on
back over. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's great stuff about it out there,
Yeah.
and I watched a lot of stuff on the making of it with a lot of the miniatures and compositing and just how they were pushing visual effects, which we can kind of
and
get
how
into.
they
Is so good.
they took his face and put it on other stunt actors.
Oh, they were pushing that
Just
stuff
brilliant.
too.
Like this was so I don't want to say avant-garde, but like it was very new process.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, they revolutionary for the industry.
Yeah, not with
way.
just how they had to finish it with the aspects for him, but it was also revolutionary in how they did a lot of the visual effects at that time for that film. Because we're talking pre-Jurassic Park, pre-Star Wars Episode 1, so a lot of the visual effects stuff were still there. Was like, you can see this transition phase, and you can watch the film now, which I did specifically rewatch this one for this episode, but again within my regular rotation of films, and you can see the dated aspects of the effects, but they're still so good. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, I can watch it and go, I'm okay with this. This is great. This is still
it holds
good.
up.
Yeah, it really does. So yeah, I guess we've gotten into the film. I love this thing so much.
But I think that was a good enough way to talk about Brandon Lee's passing.
Absolutely.
In this.
Yeah, and originally, so this comes from a graphic. A series of comic books that was all compiled into one. Yeah, James O'Barr wrote one, and it was originally him trying to find a cathartic way to get rid of his emotions after the passing of his fiancée, who'd been killed by a drunk driver.
Right.
And his whole process was, I'm going to get it all out and I'm going to do this. And really what ended up happening is it was a lot darker, and he just got a lot more angry and had a lot more mental issues as it went along. And the novels do that. The stories like really depict his kind of really decline as he goes through all of this stuff. So it was really tough for him. Apparently he didn't feel really cathartic until somewhere around after the movie was done. But he didn't want Brandon Lee to begin with to be a part of it because he was afraid it was going to be a kung fu film.
Well, and Brandon Lee at the time was known for his action stuff.
Being an action star.
Yeah, absolutely. But this was going to be that transition for him. And he was spectacular in it.
It's so good.
The mood, there's so much to love about this film. I mean, this came out in 1994. This was like the year I graduated high school. This was that film, like one of those films that was very, the music score was all bands I listened to and had seen in concert. This was very 1994. I mean, everything with My Life Thrill Kill Cult to like Nine Inch Nails' cover of Dead Souls from Joy Division to Burn from The Cure. I mean, it was
like Stone Temple Pilots, right when they had their little window of time, got to sneak
Machines
in there
Loving Grace.
This
had some really great, and even getting to see My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult in this film.
Perform in the
Miranda
the bar
Sex Garden, I think, is also in it.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things that they don't ever take you away or whatever.
Yep. Such a good tune.
It was so 90s, so 90s. And I think this was like the first time I ever saw bands besides Cool World. This was the first time I ever saw like bands that I listened to on a normal movie.
Yeah.
If that, like a movie made for everybody.
Yeah.
Like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, because this is before The Matrix that brought in like Propeller Head and similar bands like that kind of had a little bit more of like that
the alternative music.
It really, like, the industrial world was kind of brought out with The Matrix. There's so many things to talk about on this film this film is not a perfect film, but it as far as it's not let me say that again. It's not a flawless film, but it is a perfect film. It's so good. There's so many good moments and so much good stuff about this that I can look past some of the flaws and the issues with having this, because nothing's perfect. And for what this film is, I am always so satisfied I still get tears in certain places. I still get goosebumps in certain places. This film just represents so much of what I love about filmmaking that no matter what the flaws are, it's always going to be a wonderful watch for me. And it's performances, it's story. You were talking about how for Brandon Lee, this was meant to really take off. And there's so many things that I have noted about his performance in this that I really wanted to just pay special attention to this time around. The way there's a moment with him when we first get rolling. So he's the resurrected spirit of his former self after he and his girlfriend or his fiance, they're killed on Devil's Night a year prior, and his spirit of some sort is back for vengeance.
He is vengeance.
He is vengeance. And his first night back, that first moment with Tintin, the guy who has the knives. There's a moment with Brandon Lee that has him he has Tintin up against a wall, and there's a moment where he speaks and he just says, "Listen, and he starts to talk to her, and there's just this gravel and this depth in what he is saying where he's talking, because this is the first time he's really getting to talk now that he's been resurrected. And it's like, wow, that's in his performance. That's in his performances is him getting his voice back and him being able to talk and his emotion coming out, and the first time that he's actually in any type of conflict with any of the people that caused this to happen to them. And it's like, wow, it's so good.
I love the idea of a crow carrying, souls from the dead and being their their tether to the living world and the dead. Because I think all beliefs in all cultures make the crow or corvids in general a ominous creature, like a ominous animal. Like their spiritual significance in different cultures is always really something darker. And I think that's one, to me, that was kind of I remember in the 90s that being the draw for me, is this murder of crows, and then that his power as well as his despair was tethered to this creature. There was always those spiritual elements that I always thought was really interesting in this in this film, and in the comic too. I did end up reading. I remember reading the comic pretty shortly after, and it's such a hard story.
It's a really dark read. It's much darker.
Their death was hard to watch, and I hadn't watched this in a long time, so I was like, "Ooh, oh." And then we see the wedding dress, and their wedding was on Halloween the next day. What a freaking tragedy!
Yeah,
and she hangs on for life, and her passing affects everyone around her. And the despair is spread through the police officer played by Ernie Hudson, he was so good, right? That's Ernie.
Ernie Hudson's so
good. He's so good. And then the little girl that they take care of, who's
Sarah.
This neighborhood, she's not an orphan, but she's her single mom who's a drug addict, and so she's kind of left to her own devices, and they kind of take care of her. You get the impression that Shelley, the crow's wife, or Eric Draven's wife, fiance is a social worker of some sort, or works for social advocacy of some sort, dealing with apartment buildings, and that Top Dollar wanted to get them out of this apartment building. Yeah, because he was going to do something with it.
He was going to run it.
He was going to run it. Yeah.
Top Dollar mentions that actually a couple of times in the film, especially there at the end. He says nothing happens in this town without it going through me first. Right. So it doesn't even matter what his plans were for that place. He's just running it. And a lot of things that kind of happen are all because of his whims of wanting to have fun. He's always just like, oh, I did have a good time, or I had fun with this one, because he's a bored, drug-addled kingpin to a city of
creepy
gang delinquents.
Sister who's Asian.
Half sister.
Half sister.
Yeah, they had the same father.
Played by Biling.
Yeah.
Wow. When I saw her, I remember thinking she was smoking in this movie. And then when I watched it last night, I was like, oh, this part didn't age very well. Like both Top Dollar and her, I remember thinking like back in the 90s, like they were like hot villains. And now looking back, I was like, he looks so silly. Like he's not like as scary to me as he was then. Like he didn't have that draw, that mysterious, like sexy bad guy, villainous bad guy. There was it was lost to me. I was like, ugh, yuck.
Oh, I thought to me it's still there. Like he's still one of my favorite bad guys, and I love Biling in this film. She really doesn't have anything outside of this film as prominent mainstream films. She's been in a ton of stuff.
Oh my gosh, she's in everything. I follow her on Instagram, and she's wild.
Yeah, she is wild. I've followed her for a while too, and she. Like Gene Generation was kind of like a bigger B movie.
She was in a vampire film that she was in.
Probably she's been in a ton, like all sorts of like horror and kind of like chop suey action type of films, that kind of thing. She she did, oddly enough, have a role in Star Wars Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith. She was literally a senator of a planet and has like a pretty major scene, but they cut all of the scenes that she was in for whatever reason. I don't know what, but I've never seen the scenes, but I've seen the pictures from her on set filming all of her stuff on there, which would have been, obviously a huge film for her.
Being part of the Star Wars universe. Star Wars universe is always like a moneymaker.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Wild. But I
like their costuming. I think it's also so indicative of like 90s, like mid 90s goth, goth industrial fashion.
Yeah.
I thought like her outfits were pretty spectacular. Top Dollars were pretty spectacular. The guys, the Fun Boys, or Fun Boy and
there's T-Bird, Fun Boy. And Skank
Tintin.
and Tintin.
Skank.
Skank's the last one that goes.
Bless him.
I'm not Skank. Dad's Skank over there. Skank's dead.
Was he deaf?
No, I think that they were all.
I just thought he was trying to do a deaf person's voice.
No, I think that they were just people who had. I took it as like he had been a gang like since he was a little kid. Like he was just an uneducated person who he hadn't made it past about fourth grade. He just talked like a fourth grader for the rest of his life.
I thought that he was deaf. Like I thought that maybe the character was supposed to have been deaf, and that's why he was using that kind of affectation.
Oh,
because nobody sounds like they're from Detroit. Just saying. I know that's where we're set at is Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hear any Midwest accents at all.
No, not so much. That's not really. They didn't highlight it that way, even though it is. Yeah, Motor City. You Motor City motherfuckers.
T-Bird's monologues the most as far as the villains are concerned, but I also I love that actor. I love that actor too.
He is so good.
I love him in Twin Peaks.
He's great in Twin Peaks. He's very similar. He's like a step down from Brad Dourif to me. He's one of those where it's like, he's gonna be good even if the rest of this isn't. He gets the
best monologues in this.
Yeah,
way better than
anybody really
does. His conversation that he has about what was it? He was talking about death and life, and one of his little monologues was just so smart, and I found him to be I thought him to be the most charismatic villain of the group.
Are you talking about that last little bit when he's in the car before he's killed? Yeah, so that's an excerpt from Paradise Lost, and that is when the cherubs go to visit Satan, and Satan has changed so much in the time that he has been in hell that they don't recognize him at first, having been a fallen angel. And that was Satan's reaction to the cherubs of seeing them, of how awful goodness is. It's so great.
And it's such a smart, whoever that screenplay writer for that was brilliant. brilliant.
There's lots of brilliant moments like that.
You would never expect, and I think that was probably what made this, to me, one of those more elevated moments of this film, because they weren't just being villains and being a street gang. They had a very that was elevated, and especially in quoting Paradise Lost. Tony Todd is in this.
Tony Todd.
What he plays? He plays Grange.
Grange is the character's name.
I really liked that character.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting. He was a very also a charismatic villain as well. Well, the whole gang in their own ways, except for me, Funboy and Skank. They're kind of silly.
Funboy there were some great nuanced moments with Funboy.
Yeah.
The whole
He's
scene,
also unrecognizable as Funboy.
Yeah.
Like looking at his other films that he was in, he was always in
that guy was in a ton of stuff before he passed away.
Huge IMDb.
Ton of stuff. Yeah. Great.
What
and
did
you
he
totally recognize
pass
him.
from?
He died of cancer.
Oh, that's
There were several people that have passed on this for a variety of reasons, and because the guy who runs Gideon's Pawn Shop, he's been in a ton of stuff as well. He was great in The Big Lebowski. He's the private investigator that's following the dude around, and he's trying to find Bunny Lebowski because she had run away from her farm in the Midwest. So, that guy's been like these wonderful characters all over.
Shit on me.
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh,
whoa.
shit on me. Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever heard that turn of phrase before.
I've never
until
heard
that.
it since either. Funboy has this moment. So Funboy is in his kind of terrible room with his girlfriend Darla. They're about to have their drug-induced night for the evening, and that's when Eric Draven comes in. There's a whole showdown, and there's two really great moments. There's the Eric Draven's line to her about her heroin use when he grabs her arm. Mother is the name of God on the lips and hearts of children. And that's from the original Vanity Fair book.
Yeah.
And that's a quote from it. And it's such a beautiful moment. So that's one of those moments that gives me chills.
Me too.
And he's
I get chills
pushing the heroin out of her needle
or morphine.
Holes. Or morphine, yes.
Yeah.
So, but it's that next moment with Tintin. So she runs out, and he sees all of the needles and everything that's over there, and he's coming at him with a big handful of them. Tintin has just had the snot beat out of him, so he's just laying there all punched up. I think he got shot himself in the leg too.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, you're gonna waste it all, man," because he sees it. He knows what's about to happen. He sees him coming with all of those needles, but he's like, "Well, don't waste it." Don't waste it killing me. It's all good junk.
Well, man, morphine is expensive.
Yeah, I just little lines like that in there. Just I hear those moments of just the realization of these characters fully formed and don't waste the junk. Kill me another way.
I can't say I love this film, but I do like it a lot. I remember really liking it when I was young, but I think it struck a chord with me when I was young. I think it was definitely right for Gretchen in 1994, 17 years old. I was blown away.
Yeah. I'm a weird person when it comes to, I guess, the idea of goth lifestyle, goth music, anything like that, or even into the industrial stuff. There's this little tiny part of me. I don't really wear a uniform or get into fashion or pay any attention to stuff. Well, but you're very fashionable, and you express yourself through what you wear and how you wear it. Mm-hmm. And there is something fundamentally about me that I either fear that or I'm incapable. I don't understand. The idea of being able to dress up like Eric Draven in this thing and do all of that, that looks super cool. But it's just, I'm afraid to do that, or I don't love it enough to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never understood. I'm very drawn to the aesthetic, but I don't express it myself. And I don't understand why. And a lot too with the music. It's really weird because you brought up the music with this stuff. Most of those bands and that music I had never heard of or listened to their music in 1994.
What?
I didn't know that they existed or any of it because I grew up in a very small town that had one AM country station. And we didn't have cable TV. I wasn't like watching MTV or listening to music through radio stations or anything like that. People weren't talking or listening to those bands or talking about those bands.
I can get that.
No idea.
Well, they weren't the Son of Pablos was part of the soundtrack was pretty mainstream, but then there was some deeper cuts like My Life with the Roadkill Cult, playing God, now the song escapes me. Anyways, Nine Inch Nails at the time was like what their like third album had
They were just starting to blow up.
It was like Closer. No, that was before Close. This is before Closer, but in that era of I think like the Downward Spiral and stuff like that. This was this era of Nine Inch Nails. So they had just kind of become popular after doing Pretty Hate Machine and things like that. And that was like, what, 92-ish?
That sounds right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Pretty Hate Machine
they were
was
already
prior to this.
popular,
They were really big
but
by
given
then.
that Joy Division song, which is a banger in of itself, and then putting it to an industrial soundtrack. And then, of course, there's what is it? The Tenement Blues song from
that's Stone Temple Pilots.
Stone Temple Pilots. That's a great song. The whole score is great. But Burn, that Cure song. By the way, I had never heard that Cure song live until that Cure concert I went to a couple years back.
Oh, wow.
And wow, that was some magic.
Yeah.
I had never heard them sing that live ever. And so hearing them sing that live, I was like, I almost started crying because I was just like so blown away by Robert Smith's performance of it. I mean, not to totally divert from the film, but I mean, as far as goth culture is concerned, yes, I was when I was much younger, I was definitely goth. I would say these days I'm an old lady, but maybe classy, cool old lady. I don't know.
Yeah.
With my very dark accoutrements of fashion. I mean, I tend to wear black clothes in general. I think that's how goths age. And then, but accenting things with skulls and whatnot, but not wearing the full uniform anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like being overly obvious. Shockingly.
Yeah, and I think because of the timing of this film and because of that soundtrack and some of the look, it had started to broaden my horizons.
Good.
It had started to awaken some
I think this did for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of the intention. I mean, besides James O'Barr exercising his demons, so to speak, I think that was a little bit of the intention is we get to see people's perspectives got broadened by these films because they've never seen this kind of thing before. I mean, we've seen, High Plains Drifter is a vengeance film of a ghost that comes back to come back. That's not new, but the way this was done was very new for its time. We hadn't seen this kind of storytelling per se, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the 90s. I think coming out of the 80s, being in this early 90s, in this 94 era, as I remember,
it was dark.
This film was dark. There were people who were starting to express dark things. Well, and in fact, the follow-up to this film is Dark City.
Oh yeah,
and Alex Proyas had been doing music videos he'd been doing music videos for years prior to this, and then he had one other little feature that he had done years before, but he was a music video director, and then gets this film. And almost didn't get it out there, and they were able to do the reshoots and all of that stuff. But and then he follows it up with Dark City, and I'll tell you what, I love Dark City.
Oh my gosh! Richard O'Brien, Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly.
That film,
woof.
And I'll tell you, I do find that the intro monologue with Kiefer Sutherland is not necessary. I feel like they give a lot of the film away in that, which is unfortunate because if you could do an edit where you just took that out and then had the rest of the film that did it, man.
But you sure can see elements of The Crow in Dark City, in the sense that, like, when the beginning, when the little girl is narrating and tells us about was it the little girl that narrates?
It's narrating the Crow.
She narrates The Crow at the very beginning, saying, sometimes the tragedy is so lost and so profound that, like, a crow brings the soul back. And as the crow is flying through the city, I want to say these were miniatures almost. I haven't found anything to back that up, but the way that perspective, that forced perspective of the crow, and then the way that the city is kind of behind it, and then the fires coming up, feels not digital.
There's a lot of bigature with composited fire that's in there.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But those elements we are also in, like, he carries forward into other films that he makes. Like so many directors. When we saw this with Ken Russell's films, we see this with this. Like,
absolutely.
There's these elements where they kind of draw in, if not cast, or like elements of special effects and things like that.
Well, and we had mentioned a film later on that he does. So, Dark City, great film. And then he does I Am Robot.
Yeah.
Which is it's not even close to the Asimov story, other than some kind of principles about the ethics around it. But he ends up doing, we brought this film up before, Gods of Egypt. Alex Proyas goes on to do Gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
Which is a massive special effects bonanza. That's we can leave it right there, but
it's not good.
But he also did Knowing. He did Knowing.
I liked
right before.
that movie. That was the Nicolas Cage one,
Nicolas
right?
Cage,
where he's got like the message kind of that he gets like the premonitions. Is that what it was?
I love this because Nicolas Cage has two films that are right around the same time, and one of them is Knowing, and I forget what the other one is, but in one of them, he has the ability to move himself through time forward and see how things work out and look at variables. And then but then there's another one where his kids are actually the chosen ones that are meant to be saved from the apocalypse of the earth and go on to repopulate the human race.
Which one is that one?
I don't know which one is which because they're both at the same time. and this has been a thing where I've heard people bring this up before where they can't remember which one of those two movies it is.
I have a block, I think, on those. Oh my God. That is, wow.
Yeah. I remember the one, I think Knowing is the one with the kids.
Okay.
And it's the one where they go on, and that one was a pretty good film. The one where he is able to foresee the future and split his essence or something out and to see all of the different variables on how something plays out and then kind of come back and make decisions. That one wasn't so good as I remember. Like, it was okay. It was kind of contrived. That was a Jessica Biel film. She was in that one.
Yeah. So the Knowing one is the kids one.
I think it's the one with the kids. And I thought that one was pretty good.
He's got the message kind of thing that he has to unravel.
Yeah, it's kind of a Left Behind, almost kind of an ending sort of thing with it.
Where is the rapture?
I think I don't know. I would have to look. This is just the feeling in my gut about this. I think Kings of Egypt was one of those things where it's like I'm cashing checks.
Yeah.
Doing one big one for the studio.
Sometimes you got to make that money, honey.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is not a good movie.
Well, you do one for them so you can do one for you. That's
right?
What some people try to do.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Fountainhead or something like that. That one movie that what is it? That's a Coppola, right?
The newest one that he just did?
That it was just basically he paid for it.
Megalopolis.
Thank you, Fountainhead.
Yeah. The Fountainhead, well, there has been a Fountainhead film from the Ayn Rand books.
Yeah.
Yeah. and Atlas Shrugged. They've done a couple of Atlas Shrugged attempts. Yeah.
I think I felt like Megalopolis or whatever.
Yeah.
Was kind of like those. Not good.
That was that was his film. I haven't seen Megalopolis, and there's now the documentary is out about the making of Megalopolis.
A lot of money went into that. A lot of personal money.
It was a lot. Well,
very vanity project. Wanted to get it done. Got it done.
He's known for that.
That's Coppola, right?
Yeah, it's Francis Ford Coppola. Okay. I mean, he ran out of money and time on Apocalypse Now, and so he took out a mortgage on his family vineyard and was able to finish.
That's true.
Apocalypse Now, yeah, and that's a monumental film by most standards, and one that I think if anybody else had tried to make it would have never been able to make it or been able to pull it off, or it would have never been the same film. Yes. Clearly that film is a big swing film that's pretty crazy and very much an auteur film. Anybody else would have made a very clean, linear film about the Martin Sheen character getting out to Marlon Brando. Yeah. Yep. So Megalopolis was a big swing.
Well, back to The Crow.
Yeah, back to The Crow and Alex Proyas. Well, and back with The Crow too, you had mentioned Top Dollar. And again, back to actors and the characters that they play. Michael Wincott
plays bad guys.
He plays bad guys and plays odd good guys. He was just in Nope, which was, I believe, 2 years ago. That's a 2003 film as a documentarian who's there to try to capture whatever is going on there. I love Nope.
Me too.
By the way,
me too. Yeah.
Of the 3 films that Monkey Paw has put out,
that one's the best, in my opinion.
Yes, it's my favorite.
I know people think you're really quiet. I loved it.
Us is really good. I enjoyed Us. There's a lot to Us that I don't fully understand, and apparently there's a whole archetype and history around a lot of things that I don't know about and was unaware. But I enjoyed Us, and Get Out is great. It just turns into like a crazy, kind of almost a grindhouse weird film by the end with the mad scientist and everything. It's so good, but Nope is next level.
Well, funny story. When I saw Nope in the theater that I saw it in burned down the next day.
Whoa. Did you see it at the Roseway?
I did.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. But
tell me about it.
Man,
I remember my kid waking me up going, "Mom, I think that theater is on fire down the street." And I was like, "What?"
So the Roseway was always in competition with the Hollywood for being my favorite. They would play first run films that the Hollywood wouldn't, but it had that Hollywood theater feel.
It was a great.
And they had great popcorn. Oh man, I loved the Roseway. It's totally demolished now. They've taken it all out.
It's gravel pit now.
Wow, to think you watched the very last film ever projected there. Mm-hmm. Wow, and it was Nope. Oh, man. Jordan Peele just knocking it out of the park. Man, that film. And
they even had like a gimmick. They had a VCR playing Do UFOs Exist?
Oh, did they really?
In the lobby before the movie. Yeah. So it was like, man alive.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
Yep, heartbreaking. But yeah, so Michael Wincott, which is where we got off on there.
Wow.
I love him. I remember he did the Robin Hood movie with
wasn't he like
he was the sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah. In the Kevin Costner one?
Right.
Whoa.
Yep. Yeah. Well, so that film had Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio in it, who I had a huge crush on then. Massive crush. She was in The Abyss, which is going to be one of my film picks. Oh. It's one of my absolute favorite.
That's a comfort movie for me.
There you go. And the director's cut very specifically. And that's James Cameron's best film as far as I'm concerned. I love that film. And I had the biggest crush on Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio coming off of The Abyss. So as much as that Robin Hood movie is just a cheese ball, it's got her in it. I mean, I'd watch it now just because she's in it. She was on Grimm. Like, I got to work on Grimm with Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio.
Did you tell her a big crush on her?
I did not talk to her. I would have loved to. Because I worked with Shora Agdajalu was there too, if you know who she is. She is of Iranian descent, Persian woman. She's got the really raspy, deep.
Oh, is she in that
voice when she talks.
series, that sci-fi series?
She's in The Expanse.
Yeah,
she does that one. She's lovely and wonderful and sweet and nice, and she's like one of the most talented people on the planet. And yeah, she was on Grimm, and I couldn't talk to her.
Just couldn't.
I couldn't. There's no way. There's no way.
So funny.
I'm nervous just thinking about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he was he the sheriff, or was he the sheriff's? Because
not Jeremy
Irons.
Snape.
Yeah.
Was
Alan Rickman.
Damn it.
Yeah. Alan Rickman, I think, is the sheriff.
He was like,
and then he's like the underling of the sheriff, maybe.
I
don't remember either, because it's not.
Movie.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not worth remembering. But it was. I think actually that was the good parts of the film, where Alan Rickman and Michael Wincott working back and forth off of each other. The whole like spoon thing and all of that. With those little moments were good, because those were two extremely talented people who were able to make a great situation out of a bad movie.
True story.
Yeah. So Michael Wincott's a great, and that's the other thing that we've kind of mentioned this now. This film is just populated by a ton of folks. The person who plays Tintin is an actor. He's almost unrecognizable now. He's got a goatee and his head is shaved. But for a while as an actor, he had still kind of had his longer hair and a clean shaven face, so he was recognizable. He's done a ton of television and been in a variety of films too. He's an actor in this other stuff that I've seen. He's so good. He's somebody that should have been a bigger deal than he is.
Yeah.
He really should be. And Tintin
I think,
was a great
unfortunately,
character.
that space got taken up by Ving Rhames.
Oh, that's a good point. That very well could be.
And also, Ving Rhames kind of came in and swooped in. Kind of like, the whole, like, The Rock and what's his head from, like, Triple
Like John
X.
Cena or something?
No, the Triple X guy.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you're talking about, Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Yeah. So this guy is like the Vin Diesel.
Okay.
As far as like another actor that has a similar look has taken their fire, or taken the roles that would have gone to him. And unfortunately, let's be real, this was like the 90s. We're still like, having black actors as like good, like playing meaty good roles wasn't super. We didn't see that as much as we do now, but like it was still not a.
They get killed off early.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
And he got killed off early, so I mean, Tintin was the first one to die. And I thought that he was. I mean, they were all pretty despicable, to be honest.
They're brutal characters to watch.
Yeah.
The flashback stuff is tough.
Ernie Hudson was kind of my favorite in this.
Oh, he's so good.
He has this kind of like scene that brings kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like a moment of humor with when he runs across the crow and they're talking, they have a kind of an exchange. Ernie Hudson, when the crow leaves, Ernie's like, well, I mean, at least he didn't do that walking against the wind shit. I hate that shit. It's so spooky.
That's so good.
I was like,
yeah.
He was like some creepy mime. At least he didn't do that walking against the wind shit. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, God. So good. Because you could imagine,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
He pulls that stuff off. He's a really great anchor in this.
And
film.
I also like how they react to the crow. Like, it's not like, oh, this is a thing that's normal and we're all used to seeing this. Everybody's like, why are you here in this spooky makeup? And then they realize, he tells them what he's here for, or does what he's here for, or whatever. I think that the crow is I hadn't even thought about the High Plains Drifter element until like today.
Yeah.
that I was like, wow, this is very similar. This is a spirit of vengeance, and they try to rob him of his vengeance at one point or another in the film, and he has to have some help of his friends, which is what makes him different, is that he is not a he's still somebody that's kind of grounded in love, and this is what's the despair of his love, is this loss. Yeah,
absolutely.
I like this film. I don't love this film, but I like this film.
Yeah.
Again, it's been 15 years since I've watched it, and I'm like, well, okay, I watched it, and I don't know if I would watch it again. I did watch a couple other Crow movies. Oh boy.
Oh, so I've never seen The Crow City of Angels.
It's beautiful.
And that was kind of the one legit follow-up.
It has
There's
Vincent
a third and
Perez.
Yes.
And the girl who is supposed to be Sarah grown up is beautiful, like ethereal in this. And I remember being like, I wish I looked like this style. Like I mimicked her eye makeup for a good 5 years after that movie, because I just loved the look of her makeup and style in that film. So that was stylistically that one. And also it had Iggy Pop in it. Yeah.
Who is one of the people that they kind of modeled, like the body of Iggy Pop was who James O'Barr was drawing to for his
And
comics.
this one was supposed to have been shot by Rob Zombie, the second one.
Okay.
But thank God he didn't get it, because then it would have been Sherry Moon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't get me started.
Can't stand those movies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know a lot of people really love.
I know they do.
And
I don't
not.
get it.
I just don't get it. It's not for me. That's okay.
That makes me
He's
feel
got
better.
plenty of other fans.
Right.
Just like the Beatles. I don't like the Beatles. Everybody else, they've got plenty of fans that love them.
Yeah.
So I don't need my fandom.
Exactly. I hear you.
But I like a few Beatles songs, apparently. I'm just not I wouldn't say I was a record buying fan of the Beatles.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Wow. We're all over the place on this episode. I'm so sorry.
Well, but this film, films like this do bring in so many things and brings up I don't know. I mean, I see, because it is a film that has music in it, and it was starting to have cutting edge visual effects. It's got all of these people that are in it. It's from a person who was doing music videos. Like, just it's going to have a ton of influences. We're going to be all over the map on this thing.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, just one of the first iterations of this as an idea by the studio was that they wanted to make it a musical.
Oh, no. I'm so glad they did.
I know. Yeah. James O'Barr said he stood up and he laughed his way out of the room.
That would have not been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
I can't even fathom like what that would look like. I did see the also the other one that had like not the Vincent Perez one, but then I saw the Edward Furlong one.
Oh, I didn't see the Edward Furlong one. That yeah.
What a garbage fire that was.
Yeah, it looked well, and that's the garbage fire era of him too. Like, he was on full descent at that point in time, and there's no way I would watch that film. I just can't even believe that it was made. I saw the one that was prior to that. I saw like 20, 30 minutes of it. Yeah, he kind of does sort of the last, like it's the third one. The third Crow is the one that I saw that had like a no-namer in it. And it was one of those where I watched like 20, 30 minutes, like, I just know.
Did you watch the Crow series?
I never saw the series.
It was okay. I really liked that actor. That's that is it's a very famous Japanese actor. Anyways, he was also in like a Highlander thing or something like that. And then I saw I unfortunately watched the reboot.
Oh, I did not. I have very purposely not watched that one, and I hope it doesn't kill my career, but I'm happy to say why I didn't watch that one. Yeah. And I think that was
unnecessary. It was unnecessary.
I think that was a grab to keep the license, because if they don't make those within a certain amount of time, they lose the license. Things revert back to some other people, and that had been a scramble to get that done. It was originally going to be made with Jason Momoa in the role, and I believe it was Corin Hardy was the director that was going to do that, who had only had like one other horror title under their name. They went on to do The Nun feature film, Corin Hardy did. But yeah, they were in the works for a couple of years to get that one done, and then Momoa left, and when Momoa left, then Corin Hardy left. But then it went to this guy, Rupert Sanders. I do not understand how this person gets gigs. Again, I hope I'm not killing my career by saying stuff, but he did Snow White and the Huntsman and then went on and did Ghost in the Shell and then did this film.
I hate that Ghost in the Shell.
I hated that Ghost in the Shell. It had none of the spirit and essence of what the original film had. I don't even know. And just the fact that they were trying to co-opt and really just like they were gonna digitally enhance Scarlett Johansson's eyes to be more closed and slanted, and
pretty
just
dumb.
do just terrible things like that.
Those are dumb choices. There's some things about it that I like, and I mean, mainly if you should ever want to watch like a earnest reaction is like the Japanese audience's thoughts on that film is pretty great. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
but there's some really cool costuming and
it's a beautiful film
and like effects and like the geisha idea. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. Beautiful
I
film.
would have liked to seen the Female Crow comic that I read back in the 90s, late 90s as well. There was a one of the iterations of the Crow, because again the story of the Crow continues. It's like there's all these injustices that are done to different people, and there was like a crow that was like a mother that was like injured, and her child was killed as well as like the child inside of her, and it was a lot. But that crow was very cool and very dark, and I would have loved to see that story. I know it got shopped around for a minute and didn't go anywhere, but we weren't ready for a female crow. I don't think
ready for that.
I don't think we're ready for the crow anymore. I don't think the crow is relatable to modern audiences as much as this kind of story. I think there's ways of telling a vengeance tale, of a supernatural superhero vengeance tale, but I don't think that this modern audience clearly is not for this crow. But this crow was meant for the 1990s. Like these stories, these comics they were not timeless. I don't know if you've gone back and read any of them as of recent. They reek of that era, like of the 90s.
I don't have my graphic novel
80s.
of that anymore. The person that I was dating back then, when she moved out, she took my copy with her. And several of my classic Star Wars toys
like
too. I lost
too.
some of the best stuff in my collection went out the door with her. So, maybe I agree, maybe I don't agree on it being that way, that you couldn't do it. It's just, I think you have to tell those stories for the right reason and not to cash checks or to make sure that you keep a license. And that's why I refused to watch this newest version.
Oh, I fast forwarded a lot, but
and it bombed in the theater. Nobody wanted to go and see it.
With good reason.
And from the things that I read, it was like, he doesn't even embody the crow thing until like the very end and nothing. Yeah, it just, and the trailer, and the thing is, at that time, because that stars one of the Skarsgård brothers, at that time, he had another film that came out like a couple of months around that same time.
That was so
good.
They
were indistinguishable from each other from the trailer, though, from what I saw. One, because there was the Crow one, but then the other one was some kind of
Boy Kills World.
Yes, that one.
That was great.
If you'd have had
I liked it.
Oh, see, and I haven't seen it, and I would like to. And if you say it's good, I'll definitely watch it. But if you'd have turned the volume off on either one of those, I don't know if I could have told you one from the other.
Yeah.
From the trailers, because it looked like the Crow was trying to be that Boy Kills World.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, he's deaf, and then it's got it's all voice narration. It's great. It's fun. Anyways,
nice.
It's a fun film. Yeah. The Crow.
The Crow. It was a wonderful film, and I appreciate watching great movies with you and getting together and talking about these things. So this is awesome, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And the next film is yours, and you've told me that you know what it is. So
we're gonna talk about the black hole.
The Black Hole, the Disney movie. What year did that come out?
1979.
1979. That sounds about right. I have a story to go with this one when we go to watch this, and I'm excited to watch this one again.
I love this movie.
Awesome.
I mean, this is what I have a top 100 list of films, and this is definitely in there in the upper echelons of the films.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since I've seen it, so I'm excited to watch it again.
The PG movie that doesn't not PG.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, good stuff. Well, thanks everyone for joining us on this episode. This is the Check the Gate podcast. Again, we don't have a Patreon. We're not taking any money for this. We do this because we absolutely love films, and I love getting together with Gretchen and talking about them. So if you enjoy this and you want to help support us, please share this, like this, subscribe to it, do all of those different things. We just really would like to have your support, and feel free to have a discussion with us, leave comments, see us over on Instagram. We just really love what we're doing. And Gretchen, thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
See you next time.
See you next time.